back to the channel. As always, I'm your host, Eider Gray, and today we're going to be discussing a very important topic, the tools of the trade. What does a birder need in the field? And those are his or her binoculars. Now, binoculars come in many powers, many sizes, many styles to fit any budget and any individual. But the type of binoculars you're going to want to use are going to depend on the type of birding you're going to be doing. Binoculars come in different form factors. And the form factor that you can find most binoculars in are going to be 7x35 or 8x42, some 10x50, and the number just keeps going up. So the numbers on the binoculars that we're going to look at are the 8x42 on this specific pair. This is a Vortex Viper. The first number refers to the magnification. So in literal terms, it means the magnification of your eye. This is an 8x, which means that when I use my binoculars, the image I'm seeing is 8 times closer or 8 times larger than I would be seeing it without my binoculars. I'm seeing it 8 times closer to my eye. The second number, in this case, which is 42, is the objective lens diameter. Now that literally refers to the diameter of the lens itself. So the diameter, if it was larger, it would let more light in. That's good for low light situations. Beginning birders don't have to worry about low light situations too much, but also larger diameters are really good for letting in more light, which makes the image clearer. A clear image is great for a young and beginning birder. Larger diameters do tend to make the optics heavier, which is where the drawback on that large diameter would be. Now the problem with these types of specifications would be, depending on where you're birding, you might want to have something specific. For seabirding, you're not going to want to have a 10x. If you want to be mostly out doing pelagic counts, or you're going to be out on boats looking for birds, you're definitely going to want something a little bit closer, like an 8x or a 7x. The 10x's are going to give you very sharp, very clear image. But the problem with that is the higher magnification power is going to mean that little shakes in your hands and slight movements of the boat are going to really obscure your viewing. So an 8x is going to be much more well suited for a pelagic trip. Backyard birding or casual birding usually only requires something like a 7x35. That would be the number that you would be looking for. You wouldn't want a high-powered binocular. That's more of the enthusiast level, something that's very strong. And the next piece of equipment we're going to want to talk about with binoculars is a cleaning cloth. So this is a microfiber towel, and that's going to help you clean off the lenses of your equipment, whether it be binoculars or your glasses on your face. So these are all for getting a better birding experience. These optics are very, very important to birders, and these are kind of our lifeblood. They're what we use on the day-to-day, and they are the things that help us spot birds at a distance. They bring that bird closer to our eye. Things like minimum viewing distance and the field of view, well, these aren't as important to beginning birders. It's more important as you learn what you like. As you figure out what your preferences are, then you'll learn what type of binoculars you'd like to buy. I tend to buy binoculars with a closer minimum viewing distance, and that's exactly what it sounds like. I can focus my binoculars at a very close subject. With the Vortex Vipers, I can focus at a minimum viewing distance of about 6 to 6.5 feet. So that means that if I was looking at an object on the ground 6 feet in front of me, I can see it very clearly at 8 times the optic zoom of my own eye. So the next thing I'd like to focus on is another great tool for bird identification, and that is a field guide. This is my field guide. This is the National Geographic Field Guide, the most recent edition. This is the 7th edition. Inside the field guide, you're going to find a couple different pieces of information. The range map is going to tell you where a bird species can be found throughout the year. They actually arrange the range map by time, and they're colored differently. So in my book, in my field guide, it's blue, red, yellow, and purple. Purple means year-round range, where you can find it all year round. Red would be the breeding range. Blue would be its wintering range. And the yellow coloration on the range map would be describing its migratory range, where you would find it during migration season. And there's 2 separate migration seasons. There's the spring and the fall. If you're going to look for optics, or you're going to look for a field guide, talk to the experts. Go to Cape May, New Jersey. That's one of the birding capitals of the country. go to your local Audubon Society. Talk to the people in there. They're specialists. They'll help you find out exactly what you need to know. They can give you all the dirty details on the optics that you're into. They can tell you exactly what kind of book they'd like to use, what kind of book they think you would be interested in. And they usually have a huge selection of optics and different types of things like birding apparel. They have all types of material that you would definitely be interested in. So we've talked about a couple pieces of birding paraphernalia. Some things that could help enhance your birding experience could be a voice recorder or a camera. These will help you capture photo and audio clues to try and figure out what bird species you are looking for, whether you're chasing a warbler or looking for a songster. Cornell Lab of Ornithology puts out an app called Merlin, and it is a great tool to use. This is a lot of power at the tip of your fingertips. You can download lists from all over the world. It's not just North America. And you can find birds anywhere that you'd like. So it's going to give you a lot of lists of different species that you could look for. I think it's a really great tool for beginning birders especially. Because now that we've come to this kind of digital age, we want to make sure that everybody is able to find species that they're looking for. So we've talked about optics. We've covered bird field guides and where to find them and what kind of information you could find in them, and a couple of the accessories including voice recorders and cameras. And these are great tools to enhance your birding experience. As always, I'm going to cite all my sources and this video itself in the description below so you can see where I got my information from and cite it on your own. Give that like button a tap on the way out if you enjoyed my video. Subscribe if you're interested in learning about environmental science and related topics from me. And click on that bell icon if you are so inclined to get notifications when I post more videos. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bird on.